What's up, NIO family? It's Rey-Jay back with another video. And in this one, I want to break down what's happening with the overall markets. The market got a big sell-off in the morning, but then President Trump started saying some huge things. He announced that he wants to pause most of his tariffs for 90 days, and the entire market exploded. We saw SPY being up now 10%. The QQQ is up 12%. We're seeing Tesla up 22%, and NIO is up 5% as the whole market is bouncing. So I'll talk more about the charts later on once I go about the news and such. Just know that I'm not a financial planner, so take nothing I'm saying as financial advice. Anyways, the entire stock market's in the green. We saw Microsoft bounce like crazy. Apple's up 15%, Amazon's up 12%. We're seeing Tesla, SPY, and all the others just continuing to rally. Now, there's also some news right here. We saw a buy rating from Citigroup. Also, the price-price ratio is continuing to fall, at least for NIO, which is not the best of signs. It's the reason it's falling is because the whole market bounced so much to the point where NIO's pump by 5% was looking insignificant. But nonetheless, NIO did push a bit, at least relative to the markets. Thursdays tend to be weaker days, but Fridays tend to be better, and we'll have to see how it goes. NIO is talking about their ET5, which is getting a lot more exposure. And despite the CATL potential acquisition of a part of NIO, we still saw a nice bounce. In the morning, President Trump basically said, be cool. It's a great time to buy. And he was talking about the stock market. He said that in the morning while the market was dumping. Then we had some huge news that came out. President Trump announced a 90-day pause on tariffs for all trading partners except for China. That's what reports are essentially saying. So, President Trump says that he's pausing tariffs on all trading partners except for China for 90 days. He said that based on the fact that more than 75 countries have called representatives of the United States, including the Departments of Commerce, Treasury, and USTR, to negotiate a solution to the subjects being discussed relative to trade barriers, tariffs, currency manipulation, many other things, and that all these countries have not, at my strong suggestion, retaliated in any way, shape, or form against the United States. I authorized a 90-day pause and substantially lowered reciprocal tariffs during this period of 10%, which also took effect immediately. So that's big news. He also said that he's going to be increasing tariffs on China to about 125%. He said, based on the lack of respect that China has showed the world's markets, I hereby am raising the tariff charge to China by the United States to 125%, effective immediately. At some point, hopefully in the near future, China will realize that its days of ripping off the US and other countries is no longer sustainable. So he still has that view that he's not happy with the way China is behaving. So he's not going to pause tariffs on them because they did retaliate. But he did mention that he's going to be cutting the tariffs for the time being, just temporarily for about 90 days. He said, well, I thought that people were jumping a bit out of line. And he said that he wanted to elaborate on his decision. He said that people were getting very yippy. They were getting a little bit yippy, a little bit afraid because we have a big job to do. No other president would have done what I have done. That's what he said so far. And the market saw a monstrous bounce. When it comes to our economic calendar, we also had the FOMC minutes. The majority of Fed officials said the same thing. They want to keep rates the same until we get further clarity. They were saying there were risks of higher inflation and such, but for the time being, with the tariffs once again being paused for a good amount of time, the effects on inflation won't be as severe. The Chinese ones will affect things, but the other ones won't be as impactful since the tariffs are going to be paused. And then with that happening, during the minutes, we also had some more news that came out from other banks. JP Morgan, for example, said that now they think that the recession odds have gone down because of the tariffs being paused for the time being. Right now, there's about an 85.6% chance the Fed's going to keep rates the same. That's after we got the FOMC minutes. And then, with that being said, we just have CarMax announcing earnings and nothing else too crazy. So, going into tomorrow, we got this bullish divergence on NIO. If we break 3.38, we're expecting 3.6. If we lose 3.2, we could be dipping back down towards the lows. I'm hoping we break 3.38 and start pushing for 3.6. For SPY, we're also looking quite good. We're looking bullish. As long as we don't lose 536, we're still continuing to favor upside. This looks like a nice double bottom right over here, and we're trying to form a nice recovery move. So as long as we don't lose 5.36 tomorrow, we might try to continue to push towards 565, back up towards these highs. We still have some time left. So I think we're doing a good job at trying to hold up. Looking at the daily as well, we're looking pretty good as buyers start defending as we're trying to fill this gap. So I think 555 is coming, to potentially even the 560s as we come to fill this gap. We got to break 548 for confirmation, but we're still looking bullish. The QQQ is looking bullish. it looks like it wants to go for the 480 target as well. We have a double bottom now, and the market's very explosive after the news that came out from President Trump. So we could be looking for a nice continuation tomorrow. The Russell 2000 got a double bottom, trying to hit 191. If that breaks, we're looking for us to get closer to about 195. On ES, we're looking bullish with a nice double bottom here. We have a gap to fill, so we could be slowly pushing for about 5,600 or above. If we lose 5,340, we could dump back down, but we're still looking a bit more bullish for 5,600. For NQ, we have a double bottom. I just don't want to see us lose 18,500. So long, so long as we're above 19,000, we're actually favoring a push for 19,760. Still looks bullish. Bitcoin's looking bullish. So we have a double bottom here. As long as you don't lose 80,000, we're actually favoring 84,000. For Tesla, we're looking pretty good, double bottom as well. It might cool off on the R side just a little bit to retest the low to the 260s. But then if we bounce and we try to get a continuation above 277, we're looking for 290s, our potential targets. This is very bullish with the fact that the majority of the tariffs have been paused for now. We're liking the news so far. Nvidia's up to 113, massive bounce on Nvidia. As long as we're above 110, we're favoring a push for 117. Apple's looking bullish. We're looking for an attempt for 202. If that breaks, we're going to be going even higher. So far so good. As long as we don't lose 190, this is also trying to rebound. Coinbase also has an inverse head and shoulders like structure. As long as we don't lose 172, we're favoring a push into like the 185 area. For Amazon, we're looking bullish. We have an inverse head and shoulders here. So as long as we don't lose 185, we're looking for an attempt to push for 196. For Meta, we also have an inverse head and shoulders. We're favoring upside back up towards 594, then eventually 600. For Microsoft, we also have an inverse head and shoulders. We're looking for an attempt for 392. If that breaks, we're going to be going even higher, closer to 400. Google's looking bullish. As long as we don't lose 156, we're actually favoring 164 as a target, then even higher levels. So the whole market's bouncing. Big rejection on the VIX. We have to see if 32.8 holds. Might see some kind of bounce here, but if it continues to drop afterwards and we lose 32.8, we have a gap to fall all the way down here. So watch and see if that ends up being the case. Anyways, that is it for my video, guys. I thank you all so much for listening. Nice double bottom in the markets, and we're looking bullish amidst this news. So this could also help NIO try to push. If we break 3.38, we're looking for 3.5 as our target or above. So keep that in mind. Thank you all so much for listening. Please have a good rest of your day. I'll keep you guys updated in case we get more updates involving President Trump's tariffs or any other pieces of news. And just keep in mind that it's very important to talk about politics and understand what's going on when it comes to geopolitics because of the fact that it's so dependent on the tariffs. The tariffs affect us so much. That's the biggest factor driving the market right now. And as you guys can tell, it's really affecting things. So keep that in mind. Please have a good rest of your day, and I'll be back with another upload in just another day from now. We're looking bullish heading into tomorrow as long as we break resistance. I don't want to see NIO lose 3.2 as long as we're above 3.35 for tomorrow. We're favoring a push to the 350s, the 3.5s, excuse me, and we're looking a lot better. Anyways, I'll see you guys very soon, and peace out.